afternoon or night or wherever you might be, whatever time it is. My name is Morgan. This is Studio M, and I'm doing something a little bit different today. If you've seen my last few videos, I've been doing these like knit and chat, like podcast type things. And sometimes I've been realizing over the last few weeks, I have little things to say, but not like enough to have a full 15, 20, 30-minute chat about it. So I thought what could be interesting is to take you along with me this week in my life as a corporate girly who just tries to find little parts of her day to do her artistic things. I am just starting work for the day. I have a few hours of this morning, and then I'm going to get my hair done, which is very exciting. I already took about 20 minutes while I was having my coffee to knit on my couch this morning. And what I'm finding is, I'm getting a call, hold on. Okay, that was my sister. So we just talked for quite a while. I decided that I want to try to make my hairdresser like a little bit of a hat, and I have a little bit of a break from work right now, so that's gonna be good. And my hairdresser just asked if I could wait a little bit longer. So we are going to crochet a quick little hat, which is great because I've had this beautiful yarn. My friend got it for me. I tried to make a sweater out of it and there wasn't enough of it to make a sweater. And I think the yarn is discontinued. I don't think I can find it anywhere. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to just see if I can make like a quick little like 1 hour hat with this and go from there. What I was saying before is that I don't always have enough to say in terms of like a full video and talk about all of the like philosophical stuff that I like to talk about. But I thought it would be good for us to spend a little bit of a week together, and I can just share those thoughts throughout the week in little like tidbits. And I will kind of show you also what I'm working on throughout the week so that you can kind of see what the day in a life, week in the life of a person who is not a full-time artist, how they find their fixes. So on my little breaks through work, I usually will do some sort of crochet slash knit slash journaling, like anything artistic that I can. It is honestly how I'm defeating burnout right now, is the few minutes I have in the day to just live my life and enjoy. I take it and I do what I want with it, and what I want to do is art. I hope that you guys enjoy this type of video. It's definitely different than what I've been doing, and we will see how it goes. And if you hate it, don't say anything. Good morning. It's now day 2. Woke up and there is snow again. It's pretty early in the morning. I'm having a really slow morning with a cup of coffee and some bow snuggles. This is the best time of day before we have to start working. Today is not going to be as I planned. I thought I was going to have to go into the office, but it's snowing and I'm not going to be doing that. So I will probably have some time today to get some work done, and we'll probably have to go out and shovel. But first, I am going to be snuggling with this dog, hi, and drinking my coffee because I think it's like 7 a.m. and this is essential. So I did not want to get up this morning. When I tell you it is gross outside. We were not supposed to get snow. But it said like a half an inch by like 10 a.m. We already have a half an inch and it is not 10 a.m. But in other news, I got my hair done yesterday. I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I guess goals for today, I do have work that I have to do. I was gonna go into the office like I said, but it's I'm not driving there. In my video yesterday, I was making a hat out of this really beautiful yarn for my hairdresser. I totally forgot to take a picture, but it turned out really cute. And I feel like I have enough here, I might be able to make another one. So I might do that at some point because it really did not take me that long. I did crochet, half double crochet, back loop only. And this is probably like a size 5. I think it's like worsted, might even be chunky. So we'll see. Maybe later on this week I will make another hat out of that. But yeah, I'm gonna get started on some work today. I will take a break a little bit later. I got a new, so this like cube thing here, I've had that, but it's been in my dining room. The white one in the back is where all my yarn's been stored. So I'm going to switch those out because I got something to replace that in my dining room. And now I'm going to have all my yarn in that. It's just like a little bit more storage. What do I have? I have 6 right now. And then this is going to be 8 cubes. So I'm excited about that. It's a mess right now, but maybe I will time lapse that a little bit later. Maybe when I take my lunch, I will do that. I probably will also have to shovel today, and I really don't want to do that. But that is life in the Northeast. So let me put you back here. When I have something else to say, I'm going to come pop on here, or if I pick up my needles or a crochet hook at some point today, I will pop back on here. But yeah, the thing is, like, when you work full-time, but you want to be an artist, whether it's fiber art or painting or sculpting or like whatever it is so difficult because every day all I want to do is work with my fiber, but that's not paying my bills. So I have to have my job, and it demotivates me so much from wanting to do my job. So I have to just remind myself every day that because of my job, I have the ability to purchase the yarns. I have the ability to have a studio space. It's all this like mental game of pushing myself through a work day so I can get to the joy that I feel when I am crafting. It's like trapped by their job, but also like freed by it in a lot of ways. It's a very interesting, weird place to be, especially when you know, like long term, I would love to be an artist long term. And I grapple with this idea of like being on the internet. If you saw my last video, I don't do social media. So like, I feel like it's hard to be an artist in the world of social media and not do social media. And I feel like that's just, maybe I'm stubborn, something I refuse to do. I go back and forth because I feel like I could start making money with my art, but I've also tried that in the past and I also burnt out. And so I just don't know what the right pathway is. But either way, that's not what this space is about. This space is about being cozy and comfy and creative. And that's what we're gonna do. All right, so I've been working for a few hours. I'm gonna take like a 10-minute break because I want to talk about what I was talking about earlier. I like have been thinking about it a little bit more. And I think what happens when you are a creative person, when you make things in your life, right? You get this constant like sense of recognition from people in your life that look at your creativity and are like, wow, that's amazing. And then every single time, like when I make something for somebody or I show up and I'm wearing a sweater that I've made, what people say is, you should sell those. Like, those are so beautiful. You should sell those. And I think what happens with that is that we fall into this like constant pressure to monetize our creativity, right? I think there is a beautiful thing about being able to live a life off of creativity. And I think that honestly, like long term, that's going to be my goal, like I was saying before. But also, it creates this intense pressure that the life that I'm doing right now, this season of my life of having to work a corporate job to sustain my current hobbies, it makes it feel like that's wrong. And I think I'm really struggling with that. And I just kind of, I think, made that connection that I think there's this constant pressure to monetize what I do. And it's almost like it's creating me to burn out in the part of my life that is sustainable, which is working a corporate job. So I think I want to like break down a barrier for like creative people who maybe are thinking about creating this life of just like constant creation, or building this life, that creativity doesn't have to replace your current job. Like those things can happen at the same time. And it like I said, it's a season of life. All of these things are parts of who we're going to be. I have to be grateful for what I have. And eventually things will change. I will go into a new season of my life. but this is exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. And what this does is it lets me slow down and not try to make something more than what I want. Like I said, I want this to be a creative, cozy space. I don't want this to be a monetized thing. I don't want this to be a thing where people come and they feel like they're being bombarded by, I keep saying it, capitalism, for better words. Like, I think it's wonderful where people build like these sponsorships and people get to sell their work, and eventually maybe I will, but right now what this is about is sharing my thoughts, creating a space where people can come and have a knit, have a chat, have a relaxation station. It's not about that. So I have to remind myself that all good things come in time. And I hope if you are creative out there that's struggling with this like constant need to create, to monetize your creativity, I hope that you have a space also where you get to be creative just for yourself. All right, I just finished up a meeting. It is just about noon. I'm gonna take my lunch, but to take my lunch, I'm going to fix this disaster and try to get that all set up so that I don't have to worry about it anymore. So I'm gonna throw you on time lapse and we'll see how that goes. All right, still kind of a mess, but this is what I have right now. This is like you walk in. I moved the white one over here for now, and I think maybe like my printer and Cricut supplies will go over there. But this is my new little yarn storage solution. I think it turned out pretty good. It's got these like drawers, or not drawers, but these here. So I have like accoutrements, buttons, that kind of stuff in here. And then in here, I think these are all scrap yarns and things. Like, I have these beautiful pieces of like wool, like individual scraps of wool, that I got at a yarn fair, yarn festival. And I made this little tapestry. Ignore the wall. I have to figure out what paint color I want. But I bought those for like tapestry type things, but I really haven't been doing anything like that. So yeah, that's where my yarn, my studio is right now. I've got my little yarn thing started. I've got my nail stuff over there, my sewing stuff and everything. But yeah, my cute little studio coming along. I have to figure out what I'm going to do with all this stuff, but that's going to be a problem for not today. It is day 3 of week in my life as a corporate creative girly. I think that's kind of what this video is becoming, is like kind of showcasing that you can be a creative person and still it's normal to work just like a regular kind of corporate job. The last few days have not been normal. We've had a lot of snow, so we've had snow days. Usually I would have either gone into the office or I work out in the field sometimes. Today is an out in the field day, so I'm going to be going out, doing my job. I have to head to my parents' house later on today because they are gone for the weekend, so I have to go watch their dogs. So Mr. Bo is going to be here with my husband, and they're gonna have a nice weekend together, and I'm gonna be a little bit south with my parents and their dogs. Once we get into the car, we can kind of talk about like, I think we're gonna talk about like time management, like being a creative and how do you add creativity into your day when you have, you know, your typical 9 to 5 or whatever it is. So we will chat in a few minutes. All right, I'm leaving my field work for the day and I've got a little bit of a drive, so I figured it is a good time to kind of chat with you. Like I was saying before, I think what I really want to talk about today is how to spend your time. So as a corporate creative, right? Somebody who is a creative person that is in a stage in their life where they are working in a corporate type field. How do you manage that time? So like, for example, this morning, first clip that you saw for day 3, I was knitting, right? On my couch, hanging out, having a nice, chill, slow morning. For me, that is an essential part of my day. So if it means that I have to wake up early to sit on my couch and have a cup of coffee and knit or crochet or do art in any sort of way, I make sure that I wake up to be able to do that. And the reason that is because, one, it means I start my day productive. I know that no matter what, I'm starting my day and I've gotten to do something that I love today, right? So that's like number 1. And then 2, also, it means that I have time to make progress on my work, because I know before I start working for the day, there usually isn't anything that's going to come up. So I know that I'm going to get at least something done. It's kind of like the premise of, if you make your bed every morning, then at least you did something productive today. Same idea. So I try to make the mornings a time for creativity and to schedule that time into my day, or else I might not end up doing it. Because then I get home from work, maybe I'm tired, maybe I just don't have the bandwidth, whatever it is. If I can take the time early, that means I don't have to worry about taking it later. Whereas if I don't take it, then I'm going to be sitting at work all day thinking about the things I'm not able to get done while I'm at work, which defeats the purpose of creativity. It makes it more stressful, puts a lot more pressure on it. So I really feel like part of what allows people to be not full-time creatives is being able to find the small parts of your day. So I said earlier, like, this was not a typical week. I don't usually work from home all week, but we had snow days. So I was working from home Monday through Wednesday. I started this on Tuesday. It's now Thursday. So I had more time throughout my day because I didn't have to account for my commute. I could take my breaks and, I already had lunch pre-made. I didn't have to go out and find something or set my lunch up at work. Like, I had just more me time on a day where I get to work remotely. So that's why I was able to kind of do those things. But on a normal week, I wouldn't, right? So like today, it's almost 1 o'clock and the only knitting I've gotten done was the knitting that I did this morning on my couch. And once I get home, I'm still going to have work that I need to do for the day. So that's just kind of part of what the life is when it comes to being a corporate creative. You got to do what you got to do so that you can live the life that you want. So I wonder what other people's thoughts are on that. In the comments, what time of day is your favorite time to craft? Are you like a morning crafter? Are you a lunch crafter? Are you an evening crafter? I just kind of want to know how everybody chooses to fit crafting into their day. If you're not a full-time artist, obviously, if you're a full-time artist, then that's like built into your workday, is spending time crafting. But as somebody who maybe isn't able to be a full-time artist, but knows that crafting is an important part of their day, how do you make it work? So that's my little talk for the day. That's the kind of thing I wanted to explore and chat about, and I will connect back with you later after work when I get to do some crafting. All right, I am now at my parents' house. It is after work. I'm hanging out, and I wanted to just kind of share. I started a second project. Remember how I was kind of saying I was getting bored with the Lulu slip? So I've had this idea for a halter top. That's like the second thing on my to-do list. So I created this like little sketch of the design, what I'm kind of thinking. And I want it to be super beachy and summery. I want to like hang shells and stuff off of it. But I've never self-drafted before. Well, that's not true. I've made like the box sweaters where like you just do squares. But I feel like that's not like self-drafting where you have to like increases, decreases, that kind of stuff. So I wanted to take a stab at self-drafting this. So I played with a bunch of different stuff. I'm making like a whole video on it. So I just kind of wanted to show you what I'm working on right now, because I think it's starting to, this is a test. I'm doing it with just like white acrylic, but I have really pretty yarn that I'm going to use for it. But this is what I have so far. And I feel like that's like kind of the vibe, right? So that's kind of what I'm working on. I'm going to try to make the entire top this weekend as a draft top. That way and I'm writing everything down so that I could maybe create like a little pattern for it. Also so that I can make the actual top. I'm using the same yarn I actually used for my white and pink sweater that I wore at the beginning of this week. This is the Hayfield Bonus DK Extra Value 100 gram. I think I got it on Webs. So I'm currently working on this. That is going to be my goal for the rest of today, is just to continue to work on this, hang out, relax, and I guess have a really quiet like evening. I don't live by myself. I live with my husband. So this is like weird that I'm going to be by myself for the whole weekend, but I have plans. I'm going to go thrifting on Saturday. I still have work tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. So I'm planning to go visit my grandparents and go thrifting on Saturday is kind of my plan. Maybe I'll take myself out to dinner on Saturday, do a little date night with myself, because that's always fun. But I'm going to do this for a little bit. It's around like 5 o'clock. I'll probably make dinner soon, and then I'm going to end up calling it a day. You guys ready to go downstairs? Go outside? There you go. Good morning. As you saw, I apparently do not know how to use my parents' coffee machine, so I've changed to a different cup. This is a flat white with an extra shot of ristretto. If you are a coffee person out there, let me know what your favorite drink is. This is not my favorite drink, but it's the drink I like that my parents' coffee machine makes. So I want to show you what I got up to last night, what progress I made on the like prototype. So I got the body of the front done, and I think it's turning out pretty good. I think the stitches have turned out pretty nice, and I started on like the neck piece, which I think will be good. I think I need it to be a lot thicker, but I think it's coming along. And then I ran out of yarn, so I can't make the other back panels this weekend. I have work that I need to get done, and then I am probably going to work on my Lulu slip. And then later tonight, I might take myself out to dinner. Probably won't be filming too much today because I feel like it's just repetitive. But I think probably I might pop in, but if not, I will see you tomorrow. So I just got up for the day. It's Saturday, so I kind of have some time today, which is really nice. Not as much time as I thought because I have to take one of my parents' dogs to the vet. Not a really big deal, but just make sure that she's okay. Yeah, I think I might stop at a Goodwill and just see what I could find. I love a good thrift. Maybe I'll take you with me, maybe I won't. Just a little trip to the vet, but we are all good. All right, I just got home from the vet and I have started crocheting a little bit. I'm gonna go visit my grandparents. This is kind of just filling my time before I do that. But I wanted to show you the progress I have made because I feel like it's like actually starting to come together and I'm really excited about it. All right, so I have the top done. I have this kind of like stuck with just some stitch markers right now, but I did the trim on like the sides. I am going to add a crab stitch along the end like I did up here because I feel like it just finishes it off really nice, but it's coming along. And then I did the first back panel with the trim as well. So the way that this is going to look, so this is kind of what I have right now. The front is going to kind of fold over probably only like an inch because this is like the side of your body, and then this will be on the back, and it's going to be the same on this side with a similar panel, and then I will have just crisscrossing through the back so you can have it however tight or loose that you want. So I am writing everything down that I'm doing because this is going to be like the perfect summery top. I'm so excited to be able to wear this, and I'm really excited to actually be able to create it in the cotton linen because I think it's going to be, I'm just too excited. But I also thought it would be fun to like take a stab at trying to actually write a pattern for this. You know, I've been crocheting for about a year now, and I'm really excited. I was just like thinking to myself that doing a piece off a pattern is fun. That's part of like this whole hobby, is finding patterns that you love and just like building pieces off of it. But writing your own pattern and like self-drafting your own piece is so rewarding. So I think I'm probably gonna try to come up with a pattern for this and see how that goes. If I'm gonna have my sister make it, and if my sister can read my pattern, maybe I will actually like put a pattern out there for people to enjoy. I do have like a hat pattern that is just like easy. It's probably the same hat pattern that everybody, well, it's not the same hat pattern, but it's a good easy crochet pattern for like a chunky yarn. It takes like 2 hours. It's the one I made earlier this week for my hairdresser. I could write that up. I feel like that would be easy. I could release that as like a free pattern if people are interested. If people have never like crocheted before and are interested in getting into it, that is probably like the easiest because you can really do any stitch that you want and it's really like made to measure. So I'm going to keep working on the second back panel. Right now I just started that, and I will catch up with you later. All right, well today did not go as planned. I did change my shirt, but it is still the same day. I just got home. I did not go thrifting. I just went and saw my grandparents, but they were having some issues, technological issues, so I helped them with that, and it took like 5 hours. So that's okay, because also my grandmother is a crafter herself, or at least was, and also has been a garage sale person for a very long time and has a full basement of crafty things. I raided her basement and I got some things, so I didn't even need to go to the thrift store. And I'm gonna show you, oh my gosh, the sun right now, it's like golden hour. I'm gonna show you what I got from her basement. First things first, you've probably seen my dog Bo in one of the videos I've done, and I was just kind of going through some of her trinket things that she has in the basement that's not being used, and I found, she wrapped it up all nice for me, a cute little ceramic dog that looks just like Bo. I'll put this here, put up a picture of Bo right here. So that's my little baby. And then I got a ton of books. So I was talking to her about like pattern making and things that I'm interested in. And I do also like sewing too. It's not something that I am super versed on, but I do know how to sew. I learned when I was younger from my grandma. So she gave me this book, Fabric Savvy. And I think it's just kind of talking about a bunch of different types of fabrics, the type of needle you should use on it. She gave me this, which I thought was really cool. It's the Fit for Real People. And it is a book with a bunch of like patterns. Like it's definitely vintage. You can kind of see, but pretty good information in there. I got the Ultimate Sew Book, over 200 sewing designs for you in your home. 2002, copyright 2002, copyright 1999, copyright 1998, is the same age as I am. And then I got 2 more books. One is the Fabric Sewing Guide, so very similar to Fabric Savvy, so it's just more information on fabric contents, all different types of fabrics, doing appliques, stitching techniques. All right, the Fabric Sewing Guide, copyright. Really? So 1994, but also 1989. So I think this is the updated edition. So this is the 1994 copy. And then this is the one I'm most excited about. This is the Rowan's Greatest Knits, 30 years of knitted patterns from Rowan Yarns, which I don't know if you've seen Rowan Yarns, but I see them at literally every single yarn store I go to. So I'm very, very excited about this because there's so many patterns, and it's, let's see, copyrighted 2009. So I got all of these amazing books, which I'm extremely excited to start sifting through and learning from, and maybe even taking a pattern or two out of. And then the last thing I got from her is this really pretty upholstery fabric. So I need to reupholster the chairs in my dining room, and I think these are gonna be perfect for that. So I just got home. It's probably like 4:30. I left the house around like 11. And that was right after I got back from the vet this morning. So I'm pretty tired and hungry. So I'm going to probably make some food, chill out, continue to work on my pattern, finish up the top. I can finish this tonight, I know I can. So I'm going to relax for the rest of the evening, and I will catch back up with you tomorrow, which I think is gonna be the last day of this week of corporate creative. Tomorrow will be Sunday, and then I go back to work on Monday, and it's gonna be the same stuff all over again. So I will catch you tomorrow. Good morning. This is, I think, day 6. I am in the top that I've been working on, that I've been designing. It's not 100% there. This is definitely like first draft, but I would say for first draft, it's turned out pretty good. So I'm gonna keep tweaking it and working on it. I will release a whole video on the process of making this, but I like the way the trim looks. I like the crab. This isn't fully like done in the back, so it'll be a little bit tighter, but I'm not mad about it. Okay, I changed back into what I'm actually wearing today. It just has too much positive ease, I think, is basically the biggest problem with it. So I really need to kind of work on sizing. The cotton linen does not have nearly as much stretch as acrylic, so I might invest in some cheaper cotton that is more like the same stretch, and I might experiment with that a little bit. But I'm just packing up my stuff. I brought a lot of different projects with me this weekend. I did a little filet crochet, my first ever. This was also a tester. I made this. I film on my front camera because I don't trust myself to actually hit the start button on my back camera. So everything you see is always backwards. But I created a little chart, and then I actually made this. It is not great, but it's something. I think it turned out okay. I like it. I'm going to work on the proportions of this because I want to actually, oh, you could see it better this way because it's it's backwards for me. Actually, I think it turned out pretty good for my first ever attempt, but I'm gonna make a little wall hanging to put up in my studio. I think that'll be good. So plans for today, I am gonna be heading out of here very shortly. I'm gonna go back to my grandparents' house because my grandma has a few more things she wants to send me home with. Then I'm meeting my husband at, oh my gosh, it's snowing. Wow, I didn't realize it was snowing. Well, that's gonna make my drive home worse because I live over an hour away from my parents. Okay, I'm meeting my husband at, there is a soccer bar in one of the towns kind of between where I am and where we live. So we're gonna meet there because his favorite soccer team is Arsenal, and they are top of the league right now. And we are gonna go watch that game with a bunch of other Arsenal fans, which will be very exciting and fun. We went last weekend for the North London Derby, which was really a great time. And this game is not gonna be anywhere near as intense, but it's still gonna be lots of fun. This is the progress I have made, but this is the Lulu slip. We are getting there. We're almost there, we're getting there. It's turning out pretty good. I'm really excited to get that done now that I have decided I've put so much love and effort into this tank top. I think I am gonna release a pattern for it, but if I do, I need some time to kind of get it figured out. So I think I'm gonna try to aim to have it out for like April, just because, again, this is like my first time ever doing a pattern, ever self-drafting a pattern, and I need time to just kind of figure out what I'm doing. That's really everything I worked on this weekend. I got a lot more done than I really thought I would, which I'm very happy about. I've got all of my good information for that pattern in these notebooks, so that's also exciting. And yeah, one thing I don't think I also showed you when I went to go pick up the rest of that white acrylic, I also got this really pretty blue and brown yarn. Blue and brown are probably my two favorite colors. That is eventually, I've created like a vision board for Studio M, but honestly, these are like the colors that are gonna be my like branding. I don't know where I'm at with that, but I really like those. I wanna make a shawl out of them. Yeah, that's all I got for you right now. I will probably take some clips at the bar, and then I'll probably take some clips if I'm doing any crocheting or knitting tonight, and then that's gonna be the end.